Total 911, apparently the Porsche magazine, according to themselves. They state that about 2,000 units of the 991.2 Carrera T was built. That's speedster number. For me, a Carrera T with 918 bucket seat and rear axle steering, that's a collector's item. Sometimes, when I need to gather my thoughts, I bring down the very first book I purchased about Porsche. The 550A Spider debuted at the 1956 Mille Miglia held in Brescia with its mid-engine 1.5-litre flat-4 engine. Then, in 1961, the last 718 RS61L was introduced. It was 4 inches longer to fit an 8-cylinder engine, but drivers like Hubert continue to use the flat 4-cylinder engine. The flat 4 mid-engine history continues with the 904 Carrera GTS. And when I approaches this car, I don't expect everybody to understand the beauty of it. On the paper, 300 horsepower and some option package added. It takes a lot of driving and a lot of art of driving to understand the changes that has been made, that it is much more than the letter T on the backside on the car.
Not looking back, eyes on the freeway, Bonnie and Clyde, a classic cliche, we're on the run, this is what we waited for.
And it is when you start to experience and driving the 718T, you understand the beauty of what it is capable of and the connection it gives you behind the steering wheel.
Be free with me. Be free. Be free with me. Be free.
I know 99% of the Porsche customers do not care about the legacy and the history of Porsche and have no interest of learning it. That makes me as endangered as the V8 engine. When I saw the 6-cylinder Boxster in Arjeplog, I felt it. The return of the dark shadow of its bigger brother 911 abandon its own breed hit me directly in the face. If you take your time looking at the Porsche history books, you will be surprised how many flat 4 engine displacement you will find in the history of Porsche. That's why I think the Boxster connects more to the brand and the history with the flat 4 rather than its predecessor with the flat 6. And as I have said before, my only question into the debate of the 718 is why the Boxster and Cayman wasn't equipped with 4 cylinders in the first place. Walk the talk is an expression that I try to follow as a leader, husband and a father. That's why on the airplane on my way home from Arjeplog, I decided to place an order of the Cayman T, the king of B-road drive, and before the model with a 6-cylinder engine places itself under the dark shadow of the 911. I might be a bit harsh, but as a nerd, we need a 4-cylinder engine to cover up the history books in the Porsche sport car model range. I hope Porsche has the respect of its own history not to call the future Boxster and Cayman with a 6-cylinder engine for 718. Even though many cars in the history, like the 904 Carrera GTS, exceptionally was equipped with a 6- and 8-cylinder engine. But that's when the GT4 and Spider enters the scene, connecting with the history with limited editions. I mean, just second to third, third to four. Ooh. The changes they have made to the gearbox is spectacular. It is so easy to find the gears, and it's so easy to move it left and right, up and down, and find the proper amusing gear changes, engaging, connecting to the Boxster in a way that goes beyond. And if I compare this gearbox with the one that I've driven with the 718 GTS, it's huge. It's very huge difference. And actually, when I picked up this car, I had the opportunity to just quickly test the base model with a manual gearbox, and it's two different cars. It's two different experience driving the Boxster T compared to the regular base Boxster. And everything comes down to a gear lever and the way that it handles. But that's it. It's the small things that makes the experience much larger. Just like the Carrera T, the Boxster T is all about optimizing it for driving. Porsche torque vectoring, mechanical rear axle differential with asymmetric locking, 22% when traction and 27% when engine braking. Together with Porsche active suspension management, the sport chassis positions the vehicle 20 mm lower. And the Porsche active drive terrain mounts that minimizes the vibrations from the engine and gearbox sets the prerequisites for the art of driving. Yee-hoo! B-roads, a 718 Boxster T model addresses all the extra that you need to get a proper B-road experience. Well, if I was buying a car for B-road experience or Saturday or Sunday trips, well, it's easy. It's the 718 Boxster T or Cayman T. Because it's so engaging, and you don't have more fun in another car from Porsche when it comes to B-road driving. Absolutely, that's just how it is. And on the B-roads, you don't go that fast, do you? You just engaging the road and the drive, and without the roof, you have the extra element in the art of driving, bringing in the nature. Oof, spectacular. Automatic climate control is not standard in Sweden, and I think that option is quite important because the weather could shift character quite fast in this country. You're not gonna believe me, but it starts to snow. This is Sweden, ladies and gentlemen. It starts to snow. Well, this is the beauty of Sweden. I'm on a lovely B-road driving. I actually can spot the sun on my right side, but on my window I have proper snow falling. Oh yeah, it's quite fun. I'm driving a Boxster convertible in the snow. Weight is also a factor that always affects the touch and feel and a connection when you drive the vehicle. The Boxster T is 40 kilos lighter than the 718 GTS. That's a lot. But from my perspective, the lighter Boxster T is a bit more difficult to option out compared to the other 718 models. Let me try to explain. Adding the PDK gearbox 30 kilos up. The spectacular leather interior with deviated stitching, that's 200 grams. And the seats could be replaced by the spectacular 918 bucket seats, saving 11 5.4 kilos. In the Boxster T package, so to speak, you will get the Carrera S 20-inch wheels. You have one more option that you can select, the Carrera Sports wheel, the 5-spoked wheels, but they are actually 7.4 kilos heavier compared to the Carrera S. 5.5 kilos, that's how much you add if you remove the plastic box and put in a PCM system. Remember, this is the Boxster, and you will not be able to use this equipment if you're having the top down, as it should be with a convertible. And if you want a 2-zone climate control, that's 0.4 kilos. So if you want to stick with the brand T, or as I have said when I reviewed the 911 Carrera T, I think it should be called Club Sport, just like the 968. I think you should focus a bit on the weight and what kind of options you actually need. Less is definitely more when it comes to a Boxster T.
Wait a second, I don't need you. Then why so settled? I miswithdrew. Still it feels just like I'm waiting for something better. Wait a second, I wanna stay up late with my heart in your head. Maybe stare too much cause you don't understand. You got me gone. You don't understand. You got me gone. But sometimes I might be a bit selfish.
Well, I have driven the Boxster T on the B roads and it is spectacular. So when I got the chance, I couldn't resist testing it out at Michelin Slalom Cup. So let's start with the Michelin Porsche Slalom Cup with the Boxster, and I just must say it is so beautiful to drive this car, and the gearbox helps you so much in the downshift compared to the GTS manual that I drove last year. And the PTV Porsche Torque Vectoring also helps you around the cones in a way that was not expected. I'm so looking forward to my Cayman T and Michelin Slalom Cup, and it's spectacular to drive. That's how you do it, ladies and gentlemen. Focused driver, perfect car. If you could give cars a Michelin star, I would give this 2 without any hesitation. Balance, the understatement of the century, if you ask me. The results speak for itself. A 718 model is always in the top 3 of the Michelin Slalom Cup. Particulate filter. Well, I have said it before. We all know that my 992 sounds rubbish. On this side I have a standard Boxster without any sport exhaust, and on this side I have the T. Let me start up both of them and then you can judge yourself what you think. It is in no doubt that the letter T and the end of your Porsche creates the driving experience, or perhaps the best tool when it comes to the art of driving. These cars are, for me at least, unique. Not only has the Carrera T only been manufacturing in around 2,000 units, this one is even harder to get hold of.